Hello, and welcome to the Food Bank of the Southern Tier's informational video on school food centers. First, here's a bit about what we've done and where we're going. Feeding America designed the backpack program to address food insecurity among school-age children, primarily over the weekends and during longer holidays. The idea is that backpacks or bags are packed with relatively healthy and easy to prepare foods for kids. The Food Bank of the Southern Tier has engaged with this program for many years now and has been quite successful meeting this very specific need. However, backpacks do have limitations. We've heard from many of you, other folks that we partner with, and learned that the delivery model puts a burden on the child. A lot of people don't feel comfortable doing that. It does not address family food insecurity. So this food, again, for children will in fact likely be shared with a food insecure household. So this is not in fact enough food. And we've gotten plenty of feedback to reflect that. The backpack items that are packed are categorically healthy. However, these products are shelf. And again, this can be labor intensive, a lot of logistics at the site. We learned several things from COVID. The silver lining was that we learned we're actually quite clever. School districts and schools played a huge role in food access during the pandemic. Schools have long since been a trusted institution, and also due to their logistical advantage, bus routes, pickups, families being used to coming to campus, etc. This has been a good place to actually distribute food in these new ways. So this has ushered in some new thinking, a new approach, if you will, around what is possible at the school level. One of the newer options that you may have heard about are school food centers. And this, of course, does build off of what we learned during COVID. Another really important part of a school food center, and one of the key components of it, is that it's building a positive food culture at the school. It's becoming a part of the school's culture. So it takes away some of the stigma that might come with being food insecure. It gives the school an opportunity to normalize a much needed resource. And again, we're incorporating this into school culture. One school food pantry might look like a mini mart that is accessible to community members, students, and their families. And another school food center might look like a closet full of shelf-stable product, easily accessible by the student body. And again, this newer option also gives an opportunity for students to become involved and leadership to become involved. Many times, student curriculums incorporated in the school food center program at an individual campus. Here are some photos of some children stocking shelves at a school food center, and another photo of one of our newer school food centers, Dryden, and their amazing produce display. So here's how we would get started with the school food center. First, you'd want to designate a site coordinator and a backup coordinator. Generally, it's good if this is a school staff member, a social worker, food service worker, someone in administration, and they're responsible for the ordering, stat submissions, and day-to-day operations. Of course, this can be shared. And again, we do see that schools are incorporating this into hidden curriculum and actually intentional curriculum. So the opportunities are pretty endless here, but we would want to have somebody who's kind of overseeing all operations in this realm. Then you'd want to determine which school or schools in your district would be the best fit. You'd also want to designate a space and a model. So again, I mentioned this can range from a shelf-stable closet to something that looks more like a mini mart. And our staff is willing and able to come out and visit your site and maybe do some troubleshooting, some brainstorming around what space and model might be suitable. And then you're going to want to be really intentional about this. You're going to want to build this into the school's culture. This is a positive environment for students and faculty to get food. You will want faculty to be involved and model that this program is a great opportunity for everyone. It's something we do it's a part of the school. Then you would sign the application and attend an orientation. What the food bank provides are the following: an initial site inspection. And as I mentioned before, this would also include a potential brainstorming session to see where a food center might be located on your campus, to set up your account and your grants. This also includes potential equipment and startup costs, providing training and orientation. We also conduct biannual site visits to ensure that rules are being followed, food safety is still top of mind, temperature logs are being kept if in fact you do have refrigeration and cold storage. We are great at troubleshooting and offer support. We want this to be a really successful program as well. And we can connect you with similar programs. So in our region, we have several food centers that are already started. We'd be happy to connect you, set up a field trip. Here is a video of Principal Kyle Skinner of Benjamin Franklin Elementary School. And this is an interview of his experience as a food center partner.
We became interested in being a school food pantry. It happened right before COVID, honestly, that school year that COVID hit. My social worker was doing our backpack program and was taking candidates. We had about 20 slots at the time and had like 40 kids come back saying we need some sort of additional help because we have a food scarcity of sorts at home. That was kind of when we knew we needed to do something and act quickly. It was eye-opening for us to see. So at that point, we had put together a survey for families, and about 50% of the families said that at some point there was some sort of food scarcity, and close to 80% of the families said that there was concerns that they would run out of food before any funds would be replenished, whether it was, food stamps or paycheck to paycheck or whatever the circumstance might be. So it was at that moment we really realized we had to act quickly and to get something in place. It was a happy accident that our basement was getting renovated at the same time. We were able to add a 0-hour change to the renovation plans and put in this community service room, but also the food pantry behind us. The moments that will stick with me the most from starting this school food pantry is really the phone calls that we get from families that are just in a difficult position and they just don't know what to do, where to go, or where to turn. For us to be able to say, it's okay, we're going to be sending your child home with food that will get you through the week or the weekend, and then enroll them in the services for the long haul. But being able to fill that immediate void for families who really don't know what they're going to do is something that's been a really neat experience to see as a building. I think the most surprising thing we've learned since implementing the school food center is really how much need there is in the community. Sometimes those of us who aren't going through the struggle are blind to how much help is really needed. And really the lack of resources at times in certain areas or pockets, whether it's the city of Binghamton or the greater Binghamton area, there really is a food scarcity for a lot of families. And that's something that's very vulnerable for them. And we don't take that vulnerability lightly. We know it can be hard and difficult for them to ask for help, but it's really helped us break down a lot of barriers with our family and have them build more of a relationship in regards to our organization here. I think the thing that I would want people to know the most about families with these food insecurities is that they're doing their best, right? There's always a reason for this. No one wants to be in this situation. Unfortunately, some people do find themselves in that situation, and that's what we're here for, to lift those people up and give them a hand. And that a lot of them are working really, really, really hard to better their situations as well. And I think a lot of us forget that. That's part of this being more of a resource center to families. In addition to having the room with the food, we also have this community center that we're sitting in. We plan on having financial aid seminars for parents who want to attend college, but don't know how to get started. Some job fairs are going to be coming through here. There's an organization coming in the near future through one of the local realty companies who's also going to be talking to families who may have some savings and are interested in buying their first home but just aren't sure. So we're trying to meet as many people as we can on as many different levels as we can to not only help provide what their basic needs are, but also help them achieve whatever it is that they want to achieve. So next steps for our program here with the cold, frigid weather upon us in upstate New York is working on a delivery program. So we have a really good partnership with Binghamton University. We have a graduate assistant named Molly Kilda who works down here and mans the food pantry most of the time. And she's working with some interns on campus to be able to provide both a delivery service and a bag service. So some of our families who aren't able to make it in, but the delivery might not be best for them, or they're in a pinch and they need it quickly, the students and volunteers will come in and be able to bag whatever it is that they need from the menu that they'll order online. And then they'll be able to send it home with the kids that afternoon or have a parent pick it up at the pickup time. So the impact on the school community from this whole process has been dramatic, but also very multifaceted, right? We've had a lot of families learn like school is an okay place. A lot of our families may not have had the best experiences in school. So this is a way for us to show that we're about them, we're about their kids, we love them, we love their students, and we're glad that they're here at Ben Franklin. And we want to make sure that not only the students are taken care of, but the families as well, because we need to make sure we're meeting the families' basic needs in order for the students to be here and be happy and be healthy every single day. But we also have the other end of the spectrum. A lot of our older students have had a hand in helping stock the shelves of the food pantry or help out with events in the community resource center. So not only does it give families and students an opportunity to receive what they need, but also to give back to the greater community as well. We have a wonderful partnership with the Food Bank of the Southern Tier, so we're able to order them through them as often as a weekly basis or whatever is needed. We've had some funding come from our school improvement grant, but also some partnerships that the Food Bank of the Southern Tier was able to help us build in terms of securing some of those grants to get us up and off the ground and get started here. So we give families choice, right? The backpack program is wonderful. We still do the backpack program every Friday for our students who need it, but that's typically prepackaged foods that they don't necessarily have a say over. We've really worked hard to solicit parent feedback and what is it that you want to see here that you don't have here, that you've seen in other pantries or organizations that they may have that you would like to see us get. And then it opens up the choice. So we have refrigerated food, produce at times, frozen foods, as well as more shelf-stable foods. So that choice has really been big for us. Even with us doing the delivery service, that's a big thing that we're trying to work through. Not just delivering random food to your doorstep, but having an online menu where you can say, these are the things that we really would utilize here. And we also feel that's going to really limit any food waste in the long run too, because people are getting what they want and what they need. So any of the families attached with Benjamin Franklin are more than welcome to use the food center at any time they need. We are open on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the afternoons. However, we are working on that delivery service, and we also do as needed phone calls. And we found that to be really beneficial. We've had some parents call, maybe they don't fully understand or know how to access our space down here. So it affords us the opportunity to be able to say, what is that you need? We'll go down and bag it up and we'll send it home with the kids. So I think in terms of breaking down barriers or stigmas that might be attached with reaching out for help is really the environment and the vibe that we have in the school altogether. It says family on the wall back there, but Benjamin Franklin really is a family. The parents know that we love their kids. We care about their kids, but we also love and care about them. So the relationships that we've been building over the years has really helped parents feel more comfortable. We also have a separate entrance that's a little bit more discreet right out the door over here. That's not a main entrance. It's more of a commonality for you to just kind of low key come into here, be able to have some conversations. We're also really keen on talking to families and just breaking down some of those barriers and how are things going? What are you doing for the holidays? There's been multiple times where families have come in to access and we've had a seat on the couch and had conversations, or they've asked questions, or whatever the case may be. But we really try to make it as much of a family as we can in the school in general. And I think that's really also helped us in terms of opening the food center in a more discreet and more dignified way, I guess. I just want to thank all of the community partners, the Food Bank of the Southern Tier, Binghamton University, and their community work and outreach that they've done. We've had countless interns from Binghamton University coming in, helping stock the shelves, helping with the backpack program, making sure our families and kids are happy and healthy and fed. So I really, really thank all of them from the bottom of our hearts here at Benjamin Franklin.
Thank you so much to Principal Skinner for letting us know all about his program and his willingness to be a leader in this work. If you would like to start a school food center in your district, please contact us at programs@foodbankst.org. Thank you, and we hope to talk to you soon.